how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. It is time for my best of beauty. In today's video, I'm gonna be talking about my 24 favorite products in the year 2024. And then at the end, I also have some things I did not love so much, but lots of good things. This was very hard to narrow down. I have so many things that I have loved throughout the year. There are so many amazing, incredible products and things that I feel like I'm gonna continue to use for such a long time. But for the purposes of this video and to challenge myself a little bit, I did decide to narrow it down to my top 24 of 2024. In this video, I also specifically only talked about my top 5 palettes because I feel like otherwise we would be here forever because there were so many good palettes, and I believe my 2024 palette ranking will be up before this video, so you can go check that video out if you want to see all the things about 2024 eyeshadow palettes. You'll be able to see all of my palettes that I tried from worst all the way to best, and there were so many good ones. It's gonna be hard to rank. I haven't actually filmed that video yet. I'm filming this one first, but that video will be up before this one, so you can go check that out if you want more palette-specific favorites. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. I'm very excited. These are some amazing things. I love them with my entire soul, and I'm excited to share them with you. Before we hop into the video itself, I did of course film this look. It should already be on my channel by the time this video goes up. It's from a recent 3 looks, 3 palettes video. And as far as my accessories go, I just have these moon earrings. I believe these used to be plugs from the brand Hear No Evil Jewelry, but I turned them into earrings. So yeah, without further ado, let's just hop in and talk about my 24 favorites of 2024. We are just gonna go in the order that I do my makeup. First is the e.l.f. Soft Glam Foundation. I feel like this is a very divisive one. People seem to either love it or hate it, and I am in the boat that I love it. This is one of the best foundations I have ever tried. Like, it's gotta be in my top 3. I feel like it's gotta be up there. Side note, I am bringing back my top 10 series at the beginning of the year, so stay tuned for that. That's gonna be super fun. But yeah, this is the Soft Glam Foundation. It just leaves such a beautiful, kind of natural glow to the skin. It's kind of light to medium coverage depending on how much you use. I feel like it blends out so nicely, sits on the skin so beautifully. I love the soft natural glow that it kind of leaves. It's just beautiful. I have normal to dry skin for reference, so just in case you have a similar skin type, maybe this will work for you as well. And I use the shade Fair Neutral, so this has been such a hit. I love this. Like, from the first moment I used it, I knew this was gonna be a favorite. It's so good. I also love this Merit Beauty foundation stick. This is so lovely. This is like the best foundation stick I've ever tried. I used to be huge into foundation sticks, but I feel like for the most part, they're very full coverage, and I'm just not a full coverage kind of girl. This one I feel like is very, again, kind of light to medium. You could maybe even build it up to a full depending on how much you use. It's very much, again, kind of like a natural satin sheen. Like, it's not overly dewy, but it's not matte by any means. I personally use the shade Bone. I just love this. Again, one of the best foundations I've ever tried. I just love the way my skin looks when I use this. It is so pretty. Moving on next to powder, the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder is my entire personality. It's so good. This one is actually empty. I think this is my 2nd or 3rd one that I've gone through. This specific product didn't come out in 2024. As a general rule, not everything necessarily came out in 2024. It's just new to me in 2024. I tried this at the very beginning of the year, and I have proclaimed that this is the best setting powder I've ever used, and I stand by that. I think this is so good. I need to replace it ASAP. This is just incredible. It leaves very much, again, kind of just like a natural glow to the skin. It's not overly mattifying. It's not heavy. It is so lightweight, but still sets my makeup down, makes everything stay put, but still leaving a really pretty kind of natural glow behind. This is incredible. Literally, I've never tried a powder I've liked more than this one. It is so good. Moving on to bronzer, I tried the NYX Buttermelts line in general this year, but the Buttermelt bronzers are so good. The downfalls are kind of annoying to open, but I love this bronzer. I've used it so many times over the last, like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months or so. This is the shade All Butted Up. I love this so much. It leaves such a pretty glow. It's not overly, like, it's definitely warm. It's very much a bronzer, but it's not orangey in my opinion. It's almost like a little bit of a rosy hue. Like, it has like some rosiness to it. It's like a rosy brown bronzer shade. It's so glowy and so pretty. I just love this. I love using this. It looks so good. It blends out so nicely. It is very pigmented. A little goes such a long way, but it blends like a freaking dream. This is so good. Moving on now to blush. I have so many blushes to talk about, and I wanted to talk about even more, but I tried my best to narrow it down. I have 3 liquid/cream formulas and 3 powder formulas, and they're just so good. They are so good. First being the Glaminatrix liquid blushes. These are incredible. I love this formula. It goes on like kind of a thinner liquid and it blends out so beautifully, and you can really customize how full the coverage is depending on your preference. You could use a little bit and just get a little sheen, or you could really build it up and get a lot of pigmentation. I'll just swatch a random one. This one's the shade Poppy. I love it. It's so lovely. It's again kind of a thinner formula, but still like has that pigmentation to it. It is so easy to blend, easy to work with. I just love these. This is one of my favorite formulas I've ever tried. It is stunning. I hope they add more shades one day because this is glorious. I've also been loving the Lunar Beauty liquid blushes. I'm wearing one of them today, Mauve Mommy, paired with some powder products over top, but I love these. I bought these 3 when they first launched, and I have since bought the other 3 recently. I think they'll be delivered for sure by the time this video goes up, but they were on sale for Black Friday, so I picked up the rest of the shades. I just love these. I love them so much. It's very much just like a beautiful, similar to like this or even the Rare Beauty ones where it's a liquid and it's a little bit thinner, but it still like has that great pigmentation and it blends out so easily. I love so much. Again, I'll swatch just a random one. This is Preciosa Pink. I wear this one a lot. Like if you love like kind of a cooler tone baby pink, this is the one. It's just so pretty, blends out like a freaking dream. I can use sponges or brushes and it's just always fantastic every single time. And as far as like actual traditional cream, the Lawless cream blushes are so good. They've come out with so many shades now. We have 8 of them. This is such a good formula. This one's the shade Duchess specifically, but it's in this little pan. I either dip my sponge in or my brush, whatever I feel like using, and I just pat it right on my face. And it has great pigmentation. These blend so beautifully. Again, I feel like with this formula, you can really use just a little bit if you want just a dash of color, or you can really build it up to get a lot of pigmentation. I personally love a pigmented blush, so really a blush needs to be able to pack a punch for me to get down with it. But this formula is so good, and it kind of like blurs and blends as you like pat it out. Like it feels like a cream, but then as it like dries, it kind of blurs and starts to feel almost powdery. It's a very interesting formula and so pretty. I've used all these various shades countless times. They have so many cool shades too. Everything from very vibrant like pinks and reds to more soft like neutral mauve tones, things like that. These are so good. I hope they continue to expand the shade range because I just love this formula. Moving on to my powder blushes now, taking it back to the NYX Buttermelt line. I love the Buttermelt blushes. I have 3 of them. I believe they have a glowy and a matte formula. I personally only have the glowy ones because I'm a glowy blush kind of girl, and these are so good. I may still pick up more of the glowy ones because these are just so pretty. Let's swatch this one. This one's My But a Half. Again, just like a really cute kind of cooler tone baby pink. I just love this color. It's funny because there's definitely been a time in my life where I was not into this sort of a shade, but I love it so much now. Again, just very like glowy, very pigmented, but they blend so nicely. I actually love pairing those two together. It's just an obvious coupling, but so beautiful. Let me know if you've tried the like more matte version of these as well. Let me know if that's something I need. I don't need every shade. They have a lot of shades in that range, but I would not be mad to have more because it's so good. If I had to pick a number 1 top favorite for the year, these would be a contender for sure. These are the Luminous Powder Blushes from Rare Beauty. I love these. You have to like a very luminous blush to enjoy these. You can wear them by themselves, but they work so well as blush toppers. This one right here is the shade Happy, just like a very glowy, beautiful shade. Fun fact, I'd actually dropped this one, broke it, and I did repurchase it because I just have to have it. This is my favorite one out of all of them, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you can tell, but it's just very highlighty. Like compared to like this blush, it has a lot more of that like highlighty base versus like the colorful blushy base. Again, you can absolutely wear it by itself, but I do love topping it over other things. Like I'll pair a liquid or cream and then lay this one on top of it, and it's just so good. Very much gives you that blush lighter combination. Like if you like that look of kind of the blush highlighter combo where it's just one and done, this is the one to go for. They are so pretty. They're so smooth. They are again, very highlighty, very glowy, but they also look so smooth. Like they aren't chunky by any means. Last for the single powder blushes, the Singe Beauty ones are just so good. I love this formula so much. I was talking to Angie, the owner of Singe, recently, and I was like, please give me more shades. I just love this and I want to see more shades of this so bad. These are glowy blushes without them being highlighty. Like if you're someone who wants just kind of a soft glowy cheek, but you don't want it to look like highlighter on your cheek, like the Rare Beauty ones, these are gonna be the way to go. This one's the shade Risky Raisin. It's my favorite, I think. I don't know. I change my favorite of these all the time. They're just so good. I'll pop this one right here in the center. Look how pretty that is. It's like a soft glow. It's again, not nearly highlighty the same way this one is. It's a lot more of just like a soft satin glow. It is so pretty. These are again, so incredibly pigmented, but they blend like a freaking dream. This is definitely one of my favorite things. I love them. It's such a good formula. As far as like single highlighters go, I only have one that I'm like, this deserves to be in the 24 from 2024. It's the Celestial Cheek Glaze. This was in collaboration between Blend Bunny and Ellis Atlantis. I just love this. Again, this is a little bit more of like a blush lighter combination. I'm actually wearing it today, kind of slathered all over my blush, and I just love it. That like pinky glow. It is just so good. I love this product with my entire soul. I want Blend Bunny to come out with more of these in like other colors because they're so good. Let's pop this one right here. That is like the worst spot I could have put it because I can't bend my arm that way. But you can kind of see it's like a very like pinky, glowy, like it does have like a blushy element with the base color being pink, but it's so shiny and reflective. I just love this. This is one of the coolest products. I love it. I need more colors of this. Please, 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 please. One more thing to kind of close out the blush highlighter era of this video. This is going to be the heftiest part of the video, I feel like. But I do have one face palette as well that I had no choice but to shout out because I just love it. I use it all the time. It is the collab between Adept Cosmetics and Amy Loves Makeup. This is the blush palette and it is so good. It has two glowy, highlighty, blushy shades and then two just traditional blushes. I love these colors. I've very much been in a pink mode this year and it's just so good. Let's see, we'll swatch like the bright pink and we'll swatch this one over here. I love pairing these together. I love wearing them separately. And right here at the bottom of my hand, I keep putting these in the worst spots, but you've seen me use these 1,000 times. I just love them. I feel like the glowy shades I can use kind of as a blush lighter, blush topper situation, or I can use them as a highlighter. It just kind of depends on how I want to use it that day. And of course the blushes themselves are just so pretty. Such a good palette. I reach for it constantly. Moving on to brows, my favorite brow gel to have ever existed came out this year. I will never put this down. This is the new Milk Makeup Tubing Fiber Brow Gel. This is so good. It looks like this. It's more of a tubing formula, so it's going to encapsulate each individual hair instead of just coat it. And I feel like this adds thickness and fluffiness and kind of fills things in as kind of a start to your brows. And then I just go in with a pen and kind of draw in where any little gaps are. I love this. This is like super glue. It will hold your brows in place all day long. I feel like it can be a little messy if you're not careful. Like you really have to make sure the wand is kind of cleaned off before you go in or you could get product everywhere. But once you learn how to use it, it's fantastic. It's also kind of hard to take off, which I think is a good thing because your brows are just never going to fall off throughout the day. But you do have to scrub a good bit with some makeup remover, but I love this. I love this so much. I have a few different shades of brown that I'm going to be working through probably for the next like 2 years. And then I'll probably buy more after that because I just love this product. It is so good. Moving on to palettes. Again, I'm just going to talk about my top 5 for the year. And I'm not going to say these in any particular order just because if you haven't watched my 2024 palette ranking yet, I don't want to spoil like the #1 slot, you know what I mean? So these are just my top 5 in no particular order. And again, I have tried so many good palettes this year, like so many. There's been a countless number of amazing releases and it was really hard for me to even narrow down my top 5, but I feel very satisfied in my pick here. So we're just gonna go alphabetically by brand and talk about my top 5 for the year before we move on to the lips category. The first one I'm talking about is the Longing palette from Blend Bunny. I love this so much. Like the way my heart stopped when I first saw the reveal pictures for this. I love everything about this. I love Blend Bunny so much as a brand. I love their formulations. I love their concepts. I love what they were cooking up. And I just think this is so pretty. This is the only release that the brand did this year that wasn't a collaboration. And I just think they absolutely killed it. I love just these soft, muted, smoky tones. It is so pretty. The shimmers are everything. It's one of my favorite palettes this brand has ever done. I just think it is so darling. I love this. It just stole my heart right away. Next is the Oceano palette by Clionadh. They recently, this year, I think over the summer, they brought back their Archeo and Paleo palettes that they launched forever ago, back in like old indie makeup days, and they re-brought them back, revamped them a bit, and brought the Oceano into the mix, and they asked me to pick which one I wanted, and I picked this one because it's just so me. I love these colors. Like, are you kidding me? This is just everything. I love this color combination. I'm such a sucker for like a blue-green situation. I love these like pops of warmth that are in here. The chartreusey shades, of course, have my heart. It's one of my favorite colors in the world. Clionadh's formulas are just so good. The multi-chromes are everything. They look so just smooth and shifty and enchanting on the lids. And these mattes have such a punch. They are so pigmented and they blend so incredibly beautifully. I just love. This has been such a fun palette, and I knew pretty early on, I was like, this is gonna make it in the top 5, I just know. Next is a Cosmic Brushes palette. This is the Undergrowth. I feel like Cosmic Brushes never misses, honestly, but this one was a true win. This is so beautiful. I just adore this. I love a murky, swampy green situation. I love the way it pairs with these like sunny yellows and rusty oranges. It is very grungy, very autumnal. It is exactly what I love. I just love grungy, murky tones, and this is just so pretty. Cosmic Brushes formulas are some of my favorites ever. The mattes are just so blendable and so easy to work with, and these shimmers are so good. Whether it's the more traditional shimmers or the multi-chromes, they're just smooth and reflective and delicious on the lids. I love this one. I had a feeling pretty early on this was gonna make it very high up for the year too, because it's just so good. I'm just so attracted to these colors. Next up is one that I have been raving about nonstop for the last like month, ever since it came out, which is crazy. Like, this palette has not even been out for the full year. I mean, none of these have been out for the full year, arguably, but this one's a more recent one, and I love it so much that it crept its way to the top 5 so fast. But it is the Dede Signature Fearless Holiday Palette. This is so good. I really hope this brand keeps this energy going into the new year, because this is such an amazing palette. I love it so much. This is beautiful, stunning. I love these colors. I've said it before and I'll say it again. This is giving updated Ace Beauty Flare. And the Flare palette was my top favorite palette for a couple years in a row, back in like, 2017, 2018, 2019. Something about it just spoke to me. And then just over time, other formulas beat it out, So this is like amazing formulations with a color story that kind of throws me back to like one of my original favorites. I just love this. I love these like kind of grungy jewel tones. I love that it's colorful but still muted. I love these shimmers. They are so shiny on the lids. I feel so creative when I use this. They knocked it out of the park with this one. I'm so impressed. And finally, last but not least, I had to give it to the Glaminatrix Barely Basic. There's just something about this palette that brings me a lot of joy. It's a beautiful kind of autumnal color story. I love everything about this. We have this row of like very iridescent, sparkly, like inner corner toppery type shades, more opaque, like in your face, sparkly metallics. We have a lovely gradient, very autumnal and grungy. You just know me. I love a grungy color story, and this is it. It's just so pretty. I feel like this is such a good kind of go-to. It's just so classic and perfect, and the shimmers just took it to another level. They're so sparkly and delicious. I have felt beautiful every time I use this palette. And again, there are way more palettes that I've fallen deeply in love with this year. So if you haven't watched it yet, you can check out my 2024 palette ranking to see where the ranking stands. And again, I am bringing back my top 10 series next year. So my top 10 palettes of my whole collection will be coming at some point in the new year. Let's move on to lips now. It was really hard to narrow down my lip picks, I gotta say. At first I had so many lip options and I was like, this is gonna take over the entire video. So I did manage to narrow it down. I have 6 different lines to talk about. 3 are different types of lip pencil, surprisingly, and then 3 are combination gloss and liquid lipstick. Lip pencils, I don't know what it was, but I tried multiple amazing lip pencil formulas this year, and I had no choice but to include all of them in this video because I just love them. I reach for them all the time. They are some of my new favorite things, and I've actively bought more shades if they're available. It's just such a good roundup. So let's start. First are the Freck lip pencils. These are so good. I love these colors. These are so just pigmented, and they also can blend if you want to kind of smudge it out before you apply like your lip gloss or lipstick over top of it. They do not move once you put them on. They are so just like, they stick there. They're not going anywhere. I do want more shades because these are all very warm, which I do love these shades. I reach for them a lot, but I would love to see them expand this into more cooler tones. I think that would be beautiful. I'll just swatch my favorite one. Number 5, I think. I don't know. I don't even know if I have a favorite because I reach for them all the time, but this one's number 5. Again, just very creamy, very beautiful. They work great. I'm wearing one of them today. I want to say it's number 5 or number 6 with a gloss. These are just so good. I've also been loving the ColourPop So Juicy Plumping Lip Liners. These are so good. And these are a very different formula compared to what I just talked about, whereas the Freck ones stay put and they're a little bit firmer. Like they still blend nicely like as you're first using them, but they're a lot more firm. These are creamy. These are very creamy, much more emollient. I personally don't really get a plumping effect from these, but you do feel that tingly minty sensation. I just don't feel like they make you look plumper, but that could just be me and like just how it reacts to my lips. But I love these regardless. I don't even care that they don't make my lips plumping because I just kind of tried these out of curiosity. I bought like 3 or 4 of them on a whim and I fell in love and then bought a couple more shades, and I don't even think I own all the shades. Let's see, we'll just swatch this one right here. This one is called Love That. These are just so creamy. Like it's almost like a creamy lipstick stuck in a lip pencil component. If you don't like a creamy lip pencil, you would absolutely hate these, but I really do like it. It honestly just kind of depends on my mood that day on like what type of formula I want. Also depends on what color I want because they all have different kind of color options. Like I feel like my ColourPop ones lean very pinky. But it's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful formula. I'm really into it. And then I have to talk about my Melt Cosmetics lip pencils. I just love these. I bought 2 of them earlier in the year when Melt was having a sale. I bought 2 more when Melt was having a sale again recently, and I just love them. They're again a little bit of a firmer pencil. Like they aren't creamy emollient like the ColourPop ones, but they just look so good. I feel like they line my lips so beautifully. They do smudge when I'm first putting them on if I want to do a little bit of blending. They layer like lipsticks and glosses really nicely with them. I feel like they stay put nicely. I have nothing bad to say about these. They're so good. I realize I actually have a 5th one. I think it's in my bag downstairs because I wear it that often. It's the shade Caffeine. I use it all the time. A recent favorite though is Cinnamon. So we can swatch Cinnamon right there. Just kind of a yummy, like warmer neutral. Just so pretty. And I really like the shade range of these. Like I have like this lighter, more cool toned one. Sepia is a really pretty kind of taupey one. These are just such good pencils. So, so good. And now getting into the final products, I love my Patrick Ta gloss. I bought this during like the Sephora spring sale and I just love it. I want more shades so, so bad. I just love this formula. It's very, I don't know, just thin and comfy. I love the sparkle that it leaves. I know there's like controversy right now with Patrick Ta and the crazy expensive eyeshadow duo. I don't really have any thoughts on that because I haven't tried it and I don't really plan to, but I do love this gloss. I just think it's so shiny. I love a sheer sparkly gloss and this is just one of my favorites. It's just so good. I wear it a lot. Honestly, I feel like I haven't been wearing it as much because I'm scared to run out of it, but I need to not have that mentality. Wear the makeup, wear the outfit, wear the shoes. Don't let a special occasion stop you from doing things. The NYX Butter Gloss Blings. I had no choice but to talk about these. I think these are so good. I'm wearing one of them today. I didn't know these existed until earlier this year when I was just, I don't know, scrolling Ulta's website as one does. I like to just like pretend to shop sometimes and not even buy anything. But then I saw that the Butter Gloss Blings were a thing. And I remember loving the butter glosses back in the day and seeing that there was a sparkly version. I was there. I was absolutely there. My favorite one without a doubt is Bring the Bling. I've worn this one so much. This is the one that started it all. It's kind of just like a soft gold with little sparkles all throughout it. Very slippy, comfy. I love the multicolored sparkles that are in here. Like I see little flecks of like gold and pink. It's so cute. And I just love it. They're so comfy, non-sticky. They're just so comfy to wear. I love them. Last favorite of this video, I have to give it to my Likely Makeup liquid lipsticks. I just love these. So many good colors. These are such a good formula. You can wear them very opaque, like a traditional liquid lip, or you can kind of dot it and like pat it out and give more of a blurred effect. These are so good. I love them so much. I bought like 4 of them myself, and the brand was so sweet and sent me the ones that I did not order, which I was very thankful for because I planned on getting them at some point anyway. Let's see, let's watch Clementine. Clementine is such a fun one. I always get so many compliments when I wear it. This like hot orangey red. It is so pretty. It's right here at the bottom by my wrist. It's so good, very comfortable. I do feel like it does dry down matte, but it doesn't dry down like uncomfy matte where it's sucking the life out of your lips. I feel like I don't know. It feels fairly normal, very comfortable. Again, you can do that like thicker opaque layer, or you can just kind of blot it out. I've worn these so many times. I love them so much, and they're such fun, unique colors. So those were my favorites of 2024. Let's talk about some things I didn't love so much. Not everything's gonna work for everyone, and I will give you my reasons why I didn't like it, because maybe my reason that I didn't like something would be the exact reason why you would like it. Although a couple of them questionable. Again, we're just gonna go in the order that I do my makeup. I have 2 foundations here that I feel like I should have just known that these weren't gonna work for me, because it's not about the product, it's me. We don't get along together. But this is the IT Cosmetics CC Natural Matte Full Coverage Foundation. Do you remember earlier in the video when I said I have normal to dry skin and I prefer like a light to medium coverage? I mean, really sheer to light is my favorite. In what world did I think that a full coverage matte foundation would work for me? This just looks horrible on my skin. It just sits and looks so dry, and it feels so horrible. If you love a full coverage matte foundation, you would probably love this. It just did not work for me. It was awful. And I can say the exact same things about the Urban Decay Bond foundation. I was excited because it had so much hype around it, but again, I should have known better. This is like a full coverage matte foundation. I feel like people with oily skin have been loving this. It's just not for me. I think it looks cute and all, just not on my skin. Just looks so heavy and thick and nasty. It's awful. This powder is just weird. It's just weird. It's from Flower Beauty. It's a setting powder, but it's in like a can. You spray. I don't know if you can tell that powdery cast it left. And I did spray a lot just now, like you could do less. I don't know, I tried this like once or twice and it scared me too much. I feel like it's very unpredictable. You don't really know how much you're putting on. And I don't know. It's odd. It's an odd product. It's not me. I was not the target audience. I have a couple blush things. First being the Pixi On The Glow pH blush stick. Can we leave pH changing products in 2024, please and thank you? This one got a little shoved in the container, but ew, that looks like chewed up gum. That's disgusting. I call this the disappearing blush because like I put it on, right? That was like the worst spot I could have possibly put it. I put it on, and it's like a baby pink, but I swear after it like sits and like reacts with my skin's pH or whatever, it basically turns into nothing. It's so subtle. And I mean, this is a very sheer blush to start with, and then just with the pH changing aspect, and by the time I blend it out, I don't know. It looks practically non-existent. And I don't like pH products. I'm so over it. I feel like they always change the weirdest shade of pink. It's just not for me. This next one did not work for me either. This is from the brand Witch in the Woods Botanicals. They'd sent me a serum prior to this, and I really liked the serum, and then they wanted to send me this, what's it called? Beauty Balm, maybe? Beauty Balm, yeah. So really you could use it like for your lips, you could use it for your cheeks, really whatever you want. It just, it doesn't work for me. It's very waxy, like I can't get anything off of it. And it's a shame because it smells so nice. It smells like cinnamony. Oh, it smells so good. Like if this was a candle, I'd be all over it, but it just doesn't do anything for me. It's waxy and weird. Nothing shows up, and then it just stays like this sticky, waxy texture. No, it was not for me. I have 2 sticks from Ilia. These again were just a little too subtle for me. I don't think this is really a problem with the product itself. It just wasn't really meant to be for me. I guess I'll swatch on my dominant hand with my non-dominant hand. Oh, that's scary. This is the blush stick Ladybird. Like I feel like it looks okay, but by the time I blend it out, it just looks too subtle on my skin. It's just not for me. Like again, this one's not bad. This wasn't really my vibe. And I have this highlight stick in the shade Cosmic Dancer. And to be fair to the product, I am very picky when it comes to like cream and liquid highlighters. I feel like they have to have impact and not move my makeup around. Like it needs to look like a highlighter. I don't want just like a subtle little glow like this. That's not what I want. I want, you know, to shine. Like the highlight trends from like 2017, those have never left me. I will always love it. I just think it's fun. And this just wasn't quite my vibe, just too subtle. The eyeshadow palette I detested this year is the Dream Gaze from Alter Ego. This is a dupe for the Natasha Denona pastel palette, whose name is escaping me. It's just not my favorite thing. First of all, I've griped about this so much. I'm so sorry you're gonna hear it again. But like these shades here that are like a cream to matte formula, they are awful. Like they are never as pigmented as they look in the pan. Like, are you kidding me? They look like nothing. It makes me so angry. And then usually with Alter Ego palettes, I at least get down with their mattes and shimmers. Like they're usually beautiful. I always say like just ditch the cream formula that you're trying to replicate and just stick with the traditional like mattes. These ones were also just so subtle. And I have used a fair amount of pastel palettes in my day. This is not it. Like, are you kidding me? I'm a ghost and it barely shows up on me. I just found that to be horrible. I feel like aside from the shimmers in this palette was basically useless for me. So not my favorite. Did not work for me. There are much better pastel palettes out there. I'm pretty sure I even did like a pastel palette ranking this year if you are curious and want your perfect pastel palette. Moving on to mascara. I've definitely been on more of a mascara kick, especially over the last like 4, 5, 6 months or so, where I've been embracing my natural lashes. And in doing so, I feel like I am definitely very in tune of what I like and don't like in a mascara, and this one was not it. This is the Super Fan from Smashbox. It was just not it for me. I feel like it made my lashes look very clumpy. It didn't do anything to help hold a curl. It didn't really make them look especially long. It just didn't work for me. It could just be me. Not every mascara is gonna work for everyone, obviously, but this was not it for me. This was bad. A few lip products. Let's start with a lip treatment that I do not have anymore. It was from Typology. It was a lip peeling treatment. I shudder thinking about it. We got it in our goodie bags at the Creators and Friends event back in New Orleans in April, and I don't know, it was just an afternoon. We were all just chilling. I think me and Rachel Palmieri, you know her, you should check out her channel if you haven't. We were just chilling on the couch and I was like going through my makeup and stuff and I see the little treatment. I was like, I'm just gonna put some on real quick. Put some on my lips. The level of disgusting my lips felt for like 3 days, it was horrible. Now my lips at any given moment never looked horrible. They didn't look any different than my regular lips, but the feeling of them, it felt like my lips were crumbling off my face. They were like grainy feeling and crumbly and disgusting. Thank goodness they didn't look like it, but the way it felt was like one of the worst things I've ever experienced. I was complaining about it so much that I'm pretty sure Linda from Glitter Fallout, Allie Dawson, and Rachel all immediately like disposed of theirs. They were like, I don't even want to entertain this. I was so upset. It was disgusting feeling. And then a couple other lip products that really, they just didn't work for me for various reasons. So this one's from Jolie Beauty. This is one of their metallic liquid lipsticks that came out in the Spellbound collection. And I have used a couple of their liquid lipsticks in the past. I should have known better, but I thought maybe things have changed. Their liquid lipsticks are just too drying for me. That was the worst swatch. Just pretend it looks better. I'm using my non-dominant hand, okay? It's just way too drying. Like they just suck the life out of my lips. It feels so uncomfortable. I just can't stand to have it on. So this was not my favorite thing. I should have known better. This gloss from Queen Cosmetics, it's one of the holographic glosses. I was really excited to try this when they sent it to me. It's in the shade Electric. Like it's so pretty. I love a sparkly gloss, but not only is this just an odd color, it is silver gray. I'm not really wearing that too much. I would see this being really cool on top of like a dark lipstick or a dark lip liner, but unfortunately the sparkles that are in here, I can feel them. They feel gritty. I don't like that. I love a sparkly gloss, but I need to not feel the sparkle in my gloss. This one just feels gritty. It's not my favorite. Last but not least are these City Beauty lip glosses. These look pretty. I mean, they're not anything crazy. Like they just look like a pretty standard gloss, but these smell like a wet dumpster. Like maybe I'm exaggerating. Let's see. No, like I've described it this way before and I stand by it. It's like, have you ever walked like past a wet dumpster and you kind of feel that residual smell? That's what these smell like to me. It's not good. It's not good. And like, again, they didn't look bad on the lips, but I just cannot get past the smell. So not a winner for me. I don't know who approved that. So yeah, that is my best and worst of 2024. I would love to hear your thoughts. Do we have similar opinions? Do we share some of the same favorites? Are we complete opposites and like the Bond foundation is your favorite? Because I know this was a lot of people's favorite. We just are not meant to love the same things, and that's okay. It's always so fun just like walking down memory lane over the year and kind of reflecting on the things that really stood out to me. It's always just such a blast. I love this curation of products. I think they're so fun, and they're definitely going to carry on into the new year. They're going to be things I love for a very long time. I can feel it. But again, I would love to hear your thoughts. Do you have any of these? Do you want any of these? What have been some of your favorite or even least favorite products of the year? I would love to know down below. If you made it to the end of this video, leave your current favorite emoji. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me over on Instagram and BATTYBEAN there as well. Also, if you want to, you can subscribe. I'm posting most days over here, and you can join my channel memberships. Link to sign up will be down below. There's a couple different tiers with a couple different perks, and I would love to have you. Also, I would love it if you hopped over to my second channel. It's also in my description box if you want some additional content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.